Hello, I'm Bernard Keavy. Welcome to how to increase your sales by 50% or more in 90 days. So let me explain what I've got here. This green line here is commonly known as a supply curve. And what it says is that the higher the price of this axis here, the more you'd expect suppliers, sellers to be willing to sell into the marketplace. So there's a direct relationship, if you like, between what the market price is, the going rate in the market, and how much is offered for sale in the marketplace. Similarly, the red line here is what's called a demand line or demand curve, and what that says is that the higher the price you charge, the less you sell, and as you lower your prices, you'd expect to sell more. Now, commonly for small business owners in particular, in a competitive market, what happens is they're in a very price sensitive market, because what they're doing is they're selling an undifferentiated product or a commodity. So the problem you have is that prices are quite low because the demand is quite low for each individual company, because what's happened is all the competitors have driven down, they've sort of competed with each other on price and driven down the price. So at any sort of given level of sale, the price is quite low. Now the problem you've now got as a typical small business owner in that sort of marketplace is that if you try and raise your price, you lose a disproportionate large amount of sale volume. It's called elastic demand. And if you try and lower your price, the problem you've then got is that because margins are already so low, you'll start to lose money. But the other thing is, if you lower your prices, because it's a price competitive market, all that happens is all the others lower their prices and you trigger off a price war. So you're sort of stuck. The only way out of it is to differentiate your product or service. You have to have something that makes you stand out, position yourself as an expert or a specialist. And if you do that, then what happens is you've got a demand line that looks like this. And it's less price sensitive, so you could put your prices up, say 10%, and you might only lose, say 8% by volume, which means you can make money by raising your prices. And you can charge more because people will pay more for this differentiated product, particularly if you're positioning yourself as a specialist or an expert to a particular target market. So the first thing to do is to differentiate yourself to get from here to here, which means you'll sell more and at higher prices. And if you haven't done that already, or it's a process that's ongoing, if you like, that in itself could get you the 50% revenue increase. However, there are then other things you can do, because you're now at this place here, and what's happened is the market price is where these two market forces, they're called, cross, which means that you're selling at this price and you're selling this amount. But the thing is, you could have charged, say, this amount and sold this much, or this amount and sold this much. So what it means is there's a whole range of customers over here who would have paid more to buy what you're selling, but they don't have to because they can buy it at this market price. And it's actually called consumer surplus. And what that means is that if you could differentiate your customers,
I'm looking to recruit a business coach
then you could have
in order
different
to help me handle
different
existing global demand for business coaching services.
And you could charge
in
more
particular, I'm
for some
looking
of
for
them
someone
over
to
here
run
and
our
charge nearer the market
US
price to these ones
division.
over here. And the way you can do
if you're
that
interested
is you can do
in
things
finding
like
out more
you could
about
have
this
a cross-sell
opportunity,
or
which
an
involves
upsell, where
absolutely
you
no
sell an
financial
additional
risk or
product or
upfront
more of your
investment,
existing product
then go
service at the
to
point of sale.
coachforprofit.com
McDonald's
/Bernard,
for the cross-sell,
watch a short
do you want to go
8-minute
large,
video,
which is the
and if you
upsell.
think there's anything of
You
interest
could
there,
have
then book a time
scripts.
and
Now,
let's
what I mean
talk.
there is, if
And thank
everyone
you very
in
much
your
for showing interest
organisation
in
could
this
articulate
opportunity.
what it is that makes you different to the others, then every time they come into contact with the public, say with a phone call or something, they'll be able to explain what it is that's different about what you do, and that could get you extra business. So scripts, you could have bundling in extra value. So instead of competing on price, you say free stereo fitted, free what's called smart home fitted for every new house bought, and or the car companies do it, sports package included. You could basically add in extra value, which means you can then charge more, particularly at your higher end customers. So you can have different offerings of extra value, which is called packaging. So you could have platinum, gold, silver, for example. The platinum, these people pay it. The silver, these people pay it. The gold or the standard, these people pay it. And there's one other thing you can do. It's 6 times easier and cheaper to sell to an existing customer. So if you have a downsell over here, what it means is people who aren't willing to buy at that price will buy from you at a lower price. And what that means is you've then got customers who bought from you, and you can now nurture them all the way up to be these customers over here. And that's a common thing you get on the internet, where you'll buy something for $27 and then the next thing you know, they'll try and sell you something for $47, and then it's but basically they get you in on this one here. It's the downsell. So that's 5 different ideas there that you could borrow. In fact, 6 if you include the differentiating your product. All of those things would quite easily increase your revenue by 50%, and you could easily do it in 90 days if you know what to do. If you want more information, go to coachforprofit.com/Bernard, Bernard, and have a look at a short 8-minute video. And you might find this of interest if you offer coaching services, or if you're an accountant or a CPA thinking of offering business coaching services. Then here you have a system that will enable you to do that, to get these sort of results, and you won't have to commit to any investment up front or any long-term contractual lock-in. It's a pay-as-you-go by-month license arrangement. So have a look at that. You might find it of interest, and I hope you found that useful. So 5 ways, let's call it 6 quick ways to increase your revenue by 50% or more in 90 days. If you like that, if you could like it and share it, I'd be really grateful, and I hope you found that interesting and useful, and thank you very much for watching.
I'm looking to recruit a business coach in order to help me handle existing global demand for business coaching services, and in particular I'm looking for someone to run our Northeast US division. If you're interested in finding out more about this opportunity, which involves absolutely no financial risk or upfront investment, then go to coachforprofit.com/Bernard, watch a short 8-minute video, and if you think there's anything of interest there, then book a time and let's talk. And thank you very much for showing interest in this opportunity.